Okay, this is my individual progress update for the second half of Sprint 2, Sprint 3, and the first half of Sprint 4 for Pantry Detection app. First, we're going to go through the breakdown of labor of what I've been working on. So first, I continued to work on canny edge detection at the very start of this timeline for the second half of Sprint 2 and just keep trying to improve on it. We kind of just set that aside when we changed our project scope. I did end up working on that for a little while before then. Then, as Scott left, I kind of moved more into focusing on the web app. So first, I did research on different frameworks that we can use to implement our web app, and I'm still doing that. We haven't committed to one yet, but we're going to continue to look over the break and try to get that started. So for when we come back, and then I worked on wireframes and Figma for what our just simple ones to see what our app will look like, so we have an idea of what each page will be. David helped me out a bit with those. And I spent a lot of time working on those, so that was kind of my main focus for Sprint 3 and going into 4. And then we also worked on a list of food items that we're going to use to train the YOLO model. And the three of us all worked on that. It wasn't a huge deal, but we did sit down and just list out a little over 30 items that we worked on or that we want to use that would be found in a pantry for basic recipes. All right, so I'll go ahead and demo the Figma web app wireframes, and then we'll look at GitHub and see what I've pushed. Okay, so if we go into Figma, we can go ahead and present. It'll take a second, and then first we'll have the home page. So you can see the home page here, what it would look like on a laptop. Just has a title, quick intro, and then a spot to upload a file. Okay, so we go ahead and once we upload the file, we would go to the next page, and it just kind of lists, here's a picture of that they uploaded. It lists different foods that would be found in there, and then we don't plan on having the model recognize spices, so we just have them manually enter from a list of common spices. Then we'd go ahead and continue to recipes, and that would take us to the next page. So it'll have the same image and an opportunity to go back to look at your ingredients. So if you clicked on that, we would go back. And actually, one more thing, they kind of confirm there's a picture of each one, and then they confirm whether that's right or not. And the color kind of indicates how confident are we. So going from most confident to least confident down. So anyways, back to the recipes. Same image. And then it'll list different recipes and how complete they are based on the ingredients we found. You can click the arrow to go ahead and go to the recipe. And so obviously we have it listed from most complete to least complete. If we go ahead and go onwards, you pick a recipe, you click the arrow, you can also search. It'll take us to a recipe. So David actually helped out, and we got a special 1 hour good pizza recipe in here. So this example so it has a recipe name, an author. David even added a nice picture. You can see what ingredients are missing if you click on this button, and then it'll have a picture of the final product that you're looking to make, and then directions that you can go ahead and scroll through. So those are all the wireframes of the basic flow of our app. Yeah, and we'll go ahead and go to GitHub. All right. So we haven't really written a lot of code over this because we kind of changed the scope of our app and we moved away from a lot of the old, canny edge and OCR and simulated annealing we might still use, but we're not really sure. We kind of focused more on just training the YOLO model to do all the detection for us and then creating a good app. So we don't really have a lot of code in here just because we've moved over and been focused on, annotating images for the model and planning the web app. But so none of us really have a lot of code, but you can see here's I know that's the wrong one. This is just an idea of the ingredients, but the full list is right here. And you can see if we look at the history, kind of all just updated it. You can see that I changed some things that weren't accurate or that we didn't want to have it learn just yet, like anchovy paste we didn't really think was as important. But yeah, so that'll be all the code, and then that'll be the end of my individual progress update.